So there's various types of women, okay, and this has to do with righteousness. What did they need to do, and how are they? Let's start with how are they. There is the kind of the jogging woman, the gym woman with the little tight pants and so on and so forth. There's the kind of college nerd woman, a more modestly dressed woman. There's a kind of wealthier woman with nicer clothes in the suburbs. Um, there's something in between, a kind of middle-class female with new clothes all the time. Kind of takes care of herself. Okay. There's the females that kind of let themselves go. There's the hood chick with the weave, right? Instead of being a hood chick who's dieting and exercising, she kind of watches TV all the time. Some are overweight, you know, some are skinny and on drugs and so on and so forth. Okay, so the people that let themselves go, they don't really care how they look. Okay, none of these females are right for me. No female in any culture is right for me, because what aren't they doing? They're not putting moral precision. They're not putting the source of morality first. Okay, so to understand morality, you got to kind of wrap your mind around the history of morality, the history of people. Okay, say what is the right thing to do and why? What is a neo-colonialist? What is, you know, the history of robbing and drugs, and the history of immorality, the history of hypocrisy and religion and philosophy and spirituality? Okay, and you got to say, I'm going to live the righteous life on the right path, walk in the way of righteousness along the paths of justice. And as Psalm 118 would say, go through the gates of the righteous. Okay, so walking through the way of righteousness along the paths of justice up to the highest point, and then go through the gate. And the Bible also says, greater love does no one have than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. The greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your being, all your soul. Okay, it's the greatest commandment. And greater love has no one than this, than to lay down your life, to die. And again, in Matthew 10, he who finds his life will lose it. He who loses his life for my sake will find it. So a woman who's not living a righteous life and planning to die for God, okay, who is not trying to make herself attractive for a man of God, is not right for me. Okay, that's part of why I'm not looking for love anymore. Another major reason has to do with it being wrong to reproduce at this point, and that they messed up my brain and my ability to feel love. Okay, it's not even so much that they're watching me. You know, there's ways around this. Okay, you know, having, you know, doing things in the dark and so on and so forth. Okay, but it's that they messed up my brain. Okay, and they're also interfering with my unconscious mind. So you see what I'm saying? So we couple all these things together. So it's a righteous love, a real love, a love derived from righteousness and justice. You understand me? So when we look at the jogging chick, she's like, hey, I'm going to be sexy for some, you know, some rich guy. Basically, most of these chicks, 99% plus of them, are trying to be a sexy jogger, the hot jogger, really hot ones you see by jogging by the beach or in some wealthy neighborhood or something like this, or they're from some nice neighborhood in the city and they're making their way through a less rich place or something, but they're going to come back. Okay, they look at me and say, this guy has some kind of faded sweater on. Little do they know that my clothing is controlled because they're spraying chemicals on the clothing, and that makes it so I have to limit myself to these old clothing, and I basically wear some shirts with holes under this for that reason. And also, you know, I could make videos showing that I got plenty of money to buy clothes with. You understand me, at this point at least, you know, and that's not the problem. Okay, but it's also the humility. Think about how the Jedi's dressed, how Jesus dressed. So these women will look at me and they won't make the association to Jesus or the Jedi or the humble guy or the Daniel Mouse from the Devil and Daniel Mouse. They don't care about the less than rich, good-hearted guy, because they're not looking for love. They're looking for financial stability. The Bible says you can't serve two masters. You can't serve both money and God. So when you put, hey, first show me that you have money, when the righteous man is going to be sabotaged and he's going to be uncontrolled opposition. Okay, he's not going to have a huge following because corporations control cultures and political movements. Then she's choosing the devil. Okay, she's saying, be a man of Satan, a worldly man, a worldly culture man, a culture of the nations that go down to the realms of the dead. Okay, and I'm saying, receive the righteous man and look in a way that reflects that you receive him. If I look and I see you and I say, hey, this person is going to be a snob man and going to be a bitch, okay, I'm not going to bother. If I look and I see a woman with She can have, you know, kind of newer clothes, a new sweater, some jeans on, or some cute little shoes or something, okay? Or whatever they might wear, okay? Okay, some kind of humble yet stylish in a certain way, you know, kind of classy, kind of modest but appealing way of dressing. And she seems like she has a warm heart. And I look at her and say, if I try to talk to you, you're not going to be like, hey, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be like, oh, no, I'm busy. No, I have a, but you're not going to lie to me. You're not going to reject me. Then I would have been more likely to approach you. You see what I'm saying? So be approachable by the righteous man and not the wicked, rich conformist. And this goes back to righteousness. I talk about Mr. Right, in the right mind, on the right path. He's the right one. He's right for you. What he's doing is right. He's right. He's a winner where it matters most, moral precision. These people's cultures reflect that they put things of this world above moral precision. Love is the answer. Love is what matters most. We hear things like this. God is love. So why are they putting conformity and money and, you know, financial stability and social status above love? Okay? When your parents see you as somebody who's some rich guy, they should say, hey, I failed. Okay? It's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven. Why are you rich? How did you get rich? Why aren't you sabotaged by these powerful rich people that keep the black man down and the brown man down and the native and some of the Asians who aren't as well connected as the other, and so on and so forth, and all the poor, the white, and so on and so forth? Why aren't you sabotaged like them? Why are you rich? And if you're from old money, why are you still rich? But instead they look at it the other way around. Wow. You know, this guy can buy me nice things, and if I ever am doing bad, you know, my daughter will have money to help me out, and lots of money, and I'll have a nice retirement home, or whatever they think. Okay, it's a complete disgrace. Love is what matters. And if you see the guy being persecuted, the good guy being persecuted for good, for righteousness' sake, he's doing a good job, and the answer is good. You did a good job dating him. And if they bring that persecution to your family because you're dating them, you should be the most proud father that ever lived, so to speak. Because your daughter got you persecuted for righteousness' sake, and it's likely to get you to have the heart to do the right thing. Matthew 5. Blessed are they who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And what is heaven? It is a haven for the righteous. In the spiritual realm, it is the source of righteousness. It is the stronghold for the oppressed, for the righteous, for the man of God, the woman of God. It is the source of love, justice, righteousness. If you come to a source and you feel something more intensely, why push it away? One's goal should be to find where love comes from and to take their loved ones there. Okay, and it's the principle of doing this as your journey that transcends other principles. And at the highest, most respectable level, perhaps, among other things, is the idea of willingness to let your family go if they don't want to go there with you. And you are the child of God, they're not. I did not come to bring peace on earth. Okay, it would have been nice, but I did not come for that. I came to bring a sword and to divide those who want to go to heaven from those who don't, and to split families if that's what it takes. Righteousness, love, justice, the moral warrior spirit, moral precision. The grace that God gives us once we accept his way is more important than elegance and a kind of fancy way of walking in heels and so on and so forth. I'm looking for the woman who's receptive to God, who reflects that with no racial, financial, social, political, cultural barriers between her and me. Those things are demons. Don't let the demons come between us.